What's up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. You're watching another breakdown on Nwadei MMA. Today I'm going to be talking about Alexandre Pantoja. Pantoja is the reigning UFC flyweight champion, and his style has been one of chaos, where he creates all these explosive exchanges in order to grapple his opponent or to hurt his opponent on the feet and open up the grappling, right? And it's a very unique blend of mixed martial arts that sometimes can look ineffective, but I'm going to show you why it is effective, right? And he's one of the more under talked about and underappreciated champions, I feel like, in the UFC. So some of the first things that I'm going to talk about, I'm going to break this into 3 layers of his style. But first, I want to talk about some of the combinations he uses, right? And some of these combinations are very basic. I'm going to talk about 2 main ones that he likes to use, or actually 3 main ones that he likes to use, right? He'll use a Dutch setup, right, where it's just a cross, left hook, low kick, very simple. He also bring that back leg up high, right, to where he goes to the body. And then his more utilized combinations are his 1-2, 1-2, or that could be a 1-2, 3-2 as well, and 1-2, 1-2, 3-3, right, where he doubles up the left hook. And just so y'all can see it from this side, that is a 1-2, 1-2, 3-3, right? And so these are the combinations he uses. Now let's go ahead and get into the first layer of Alexandre Pantoja's style and why he uses these combinations. So the first layer of Alexandre Pantoja's style is his blitz, right? We know that he's a very explosive fighter. He generally is very patient until he goes and blitzes his opponent, and that's where he ends up in his takedown and striking sequences. And the first layer to his blitzing style, or the first layer being the blitzing style, he likes to use this 1-2, 1-2 combination, mainly to get his opponent's hands up and to press them to the cage. So if he's throwing this, right, he's going 1-2, 1-2, 1-2. He might triple it up until his opponent's hands are high and he can get low onto the legs. Right? So that's again 1-2, 1-2, boom, to press to the cage in order to get his opponent's hands up. That way he's free to shoot underneath for the legs, right? Another thing he does while doing this blitz, it's not traditional like you see in karate, almost like you see Adricus du Plessis do his blitz, but instead it's more hybrid, to where if you're blitzing like this, you're always open for like a counter right hand or even a check hook. So in order to avoid that, he keeps his head off the center line, but he keeps it that way. He doesn't take it off like a Mike Tyson going left and right. He'll keep it this way as he's throwing his combination, and he'll throw the 1-2, 1-2. That way he can open up for his takedown with his head being on the left side, right? So again, that's 1-2, 1-2. Even if punches are coming, he's off the center line. If that straight right hand is coming, it's the same thing. 1-2, 1-2. You gotta open them up with clinch, double leg, or anything of the sort, right? And so this is what he uses to not only close that gap, but close it quickly and get his opponent's hands up. That way he can shoot underneath. And it's very important that you shoot onto that same side. That way you're not running into one of those check left hooks, right? So when you're doing this, you want to make sure that not only are you running towards them, right? You're not staying in the same stance. You're running towards them, boom, and keeping it off on the side. That way you can press them to the cage afterwards, right? The second combination he uses in this first layer is the 1-2, 1-2, 3-3 combination, right? Where he's 1-2, 1-2, and then his opponent starts circling out, and that's where he cuts him off with the hooks and looks to get underneath, right? This is another way of getting his opponent's hands up, right? He might not even fully get off the 1-2, 1-2 before they start circling out. So as I blitz, go ahead and circle out before he's able to cut him off and get to a takedown. So again, first combination, he has the 1-2, rip two, looking to get the hand on the left side. Second combination, 1-2, 1-2, 3, boom, looking to get underneath after throwing the left hook. And that's how he likes to use his blitzes. Not only does he use these 2 blitzes in unison, but also his opponent might not back up right away to where it'll interrupt his blitz, but that's okay because he may throw the 1-2. His opponent might take one step backwards and counter with a right hand, right? But because his head is off the center line, he'll still get into his clinches. So he is trying to take them to the cage, but if they don't and they stop in the middle, that's okay as well. Or if they try to circle out, he'll cut them off and look to go underneath. So that's his first layer to his style. Layer number 2, and this is actually interchangeable with layer number 1. It doesn't really matter which one he uses first. It kind of depends on his opponent. But layer number 2 is his Dutch setups, right? And a lot of times he does use this before he commits to the blitz right away, or maybe he used the blitz and it wasn't working, or they have good takedown defenses. Generally, when he blitzes his opponents, they back straight up because he closes that distance so well. And when they do that, it can be hard to reach their head, right? And so instead of doing that, if you can't reach the head, you touch the lower half. And what he'll do is he'll just throw the maybe 2-3 low combination, the Dutch style combo that we talked about before, right? Or he will run them into a round. He'll run them straight back. That way they have to circle out because they don't want to be on the cage, right? Boom, bang, finish off with a round kick to the body, right? So again, the whole idea of this is attacking the center line to make them back straight up and circle out into one of those kicks, right? So again, boom, 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 or even quicker, boom, 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 right? Those are those 3 combinations he'll generally use in order to, again, get them in a straight line. And if he can't close that gap with the takedown, he'll close it with the kick. And generally he does a lot of damage with those kicks to the body as well, which we saw in his last fight against Kyle Sakura. When his opponents start catching on to this, they tend to stop backing up. They want to come forward, they want to use their jab, they want to check those kicks, right? Because he's been really good about attacking the legs, so then they start bringing that leg up. And what he does after this, right, is because they're light on that lead leg, right? Maybe he's been going here and he's been tagging their leg. Then they try and check. So he comes with the blitz, and because they're already light on the lead leg, he could reach for a single, or he could use this to transition to the clinch and get them against the cage, right? So again, he's maybe throwing this Dutch setup, or maybe he's blitzed them to the cage already once more. They don't want either of those to work, so they start playing Muay Thai. Boom, boom. They start ditching that leg, and he'll get underneath because they're already so light on that lead leg that makes it easy to lift, right? If she does lift that leg, boom, it makes it light. I can hold it. I have my takedowns, and I have my back. And we all know Alexandre Pantoja loves to get to the back, right? Not only do you have your single legs, but you can also ride it up into the clinch. And that's the second layer for Alexandre Pantoja's style. We're getting out of breath.
Doctor stoppage. It's doctor stoppage. Your wife is in my DMs.
And now for the third layer of Alexandre Pantoja's style. Bonus section for Patreon members. And he uses all these things to coincide in him getting into that grappling, stopping his opponents from marching him backwards, and being able to take his opponent back. So just to summarize everything that we've talked about, Alexandre Pantoja's style is not only an explosive one, but one that wants to get you going in a straight line backwards, right? He's looking to cut you off from circling out. That way he's the one pressuring and you're not the one pressuring him. If you circle out, he has different attacks like the round kick we talked about, or cutting you off with the hook. And generally when he looks to blitz, he is blitzing safely because he's keeping that head off the center line by staying on one side as he's blitzing, right? So this is Alexandre Pantoja's style. Hopefully you guys were able to take something from this video. Go ahead and leave your thoughts in the comments down below and talk about which fighters you might want to see broken down next. Go ahead and visit my Patreon where this full version of this video and breakdown will be, along with other fighters' breakdowns as well. And don't be afraid to subscribe. I'll look forward to seeing you in the next one.
The button is right here. Or here, or here, I don't know.
right
Somewhere here.
Don't
Maybe
listen.
here. But somewhere. Find it and then click.
Yeah,
If you don't click, we're coming.
what he said. All right, guys. Peace.